everybody, it's Kaylee here, and today I have something very special to share with you guys. So as you can see, I am not in my sewing basement today. I am in a slightly different location. I thought I'd change things up a little bit because things are going to be changing up around here. So I just figure maybe we can all grab a mug of our favorite coffee or tea and just chill out for a bit and have a little catch-up chat. So I started this channel about 3 years ago, partly as a way to document my sewing and crafting journey, but primarily as a way to connect with other creative and artistically minded people. And for a while now, we've been on this journey together as Happy Makes Me, focusing on sewing, knitting, and crochet, and I've genuinely loved every single minute of it. But as a lot of you may know, I've also been on a personal journey dealing with depression and ADHD and just adjusting to life as a mama of two who also happens to homeschool my children. I've been working my way through a particularly tough stint of burnout and honestly the lowest point my depression has ever been in my entire life. It became pretty clear to me very quickly that for my own sake and for the sake of my family, I really needed to find a way to create more balance in my life. I recently came to a point where I just hit a wall of frustration. I really felt like my days just revolved around managing my depression, and it left very little time for little pleasures in my life or any form of self-care. So one day I was kind of venting to my husband about this stuff, and he very kindly and poignantly pointed out to me that I had reached a point where I spent so much time doing things instead of just being. I'm somebody who is raised with the concept that your value is directly tied to your productivity, and I think a lot of us who are raised in capitalistic societies were also raised with that mindset. So in an attempt to figure out what just being meant and looked like for me, I kind of fell down this rabbit hole of discovering different mindfulness techniques that included things like slow living, homesteading, spirituality, herbalism, and even witchcraft. All of those things combined just really awakened this spark of joy within me. What I find most interesting is that when I hear of other people who are kind of going on this journey of self-discovery, so many of them discover it as this becoming, right? Like they're so looking forward to allowing themselves to just become this next version of themselves. For me, I don't feel like I'm becoming anything at all. To be quite honest, I feel more like I am returning and coming back to these pieces and parts of myself that are very authentic and very special and very much neglected because they are parts of myself that I feel I've been kind of nudged away from for a lot of different reasons, from outside sources or from my inner critic. It's been an incredibly eye-opening and fulfilling path thus far, and I absolutely want to share that with you guys. And that's actually one of the main reasons why I've been really spotty on this channel for especially the last year, because although I absolutely still love sewing and different fiber crafts and things like that and sharing about those with you guys, I feel like I've kind of backed myself into a corner where I can only share that one tiny facet of myself on this channel, when the truth is that I'm actually incredibly multifaceted and multi-passionate. And it's so silly too, because anytime I've opened up about these other interests or these paths that I'm exploring, there's been overwhelmingly wonderful responses where people have responded to me and shared your own experiences or your own stories. I've made genuine connections, and that was the whole reason I started this channel in the first place, was for those kinds of interactions and community building. So with all that said, with a very full heart and sense of excitement, I am happy to share with you the next step in my journey and our journey together, which will be Maiden Mother. So this kind of rebrand, if you want to call it that, is really going to be a fusion of my spiritual and creative practices. My goal with this channel is to create a more harmonious space where we can talk about things like slow living, cottagecore, comfy, cozy vibes, fiber and traditional handicrafts, herbalism, green living, kitchen witching, creative self-care, and just overall well-being. Basically, this is going to be a safe space where we can all slowly go feral together. So a little backstory on the name change. In Greek mythology, the goddess Hecate is depicted with this triple goddess archetype. She's comprised of the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So the maiden, in short, represents things like a carefree spirit, growth, new beginnings, and potential. But the mother really symbolizes things like nurturing, creation, and creativity, and the fullness of life. Right now, personally, I find myself smack dab in the middle of those two archetypes. I feel I am moving from my maiden years into my mother years, and I feel in a lot of ways I'm kind of experiencing this balancing act, or this dance between a carefree and rewilding feral spirit and a more nurturing, creative, mothering spirit. If this new direction doesn't resonate with you, that is okay. But for those of you who choose to stay, A, I want to let you know that I am so grateful to have you here by my side. And B, I also want to let you know what you can expect to see from me going forward. So if you originally came to this channel for the sewing and knitting and crochet or sustainable crafting content, don't worry, because that is not going anywhere. That is still very much an interest of mine. That is still very much a passion of mine. Actually, as we speak, at the time of recording this video, I have a thrift flip and a sewing vlog in the works that I am very excited to share with you. No changes in that regard. The biggest change you're going to see is actually an addition of a lot of content. So I'm going to be expanding to talk about a lot of the things that I actually mentioned earlier, like slow living, traditional handicrafts like soap making or candle making, kitchen witching, herbalism, creative self-care. I completely understand that that is a varied list, but I really do feel that that is a more accurate reflection of the multifacets and passions in my life right now. This channel is and always will remain a safe place for authenticity, understanding, and growth. Again, I completely understand if this new direction is not a good fit for you, and if you hit that unsubscribe button, no hard feelings. I completely understand. Our journey together has been wonderful, and I am truly grateful for every moment that you have been a part of it. But for those of you who choose to stick around and who join us in the future, thank you so much for being a part of my story, for your support and your kindness and just your beautiful presence. I truly cannot wait to embark on this new adventure with you guys as we all kind of settle into this idea of returning rather than becoming, and just finding the magic within all of us and embracing it fully. So, bottoms up to embracing the slow moments that our days afford us, to finding the magic in the mundane, and to celebrating the slow return to our most authentic and beautiful selves. So thank you again for being a part of this fantastic community and this wonderful support system. And I am so looking forward to sharing more of Maiden Mother with you all. Until next time, stay cozy, stay creative, most importantly, keep it weird, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.